Welcome into Bills Tonight Digital, presented by ECMC. The Bills are 5-1 for the first time since 2008 after beating the Dolphins 31-21. Maddy Glab here with Fred Jackson. Now, this game was not so pretty in the first half. We were shaking our heads as we went into halftime, but we figured the Bills had something cooking up in the second half. What was it that got the win for the Bills today?
Well, I think they just continued to stick with the game plan. A lot of plays didn't go their way in the first half, but you don't panic. You keep coming to the drawing board. You're knowing that you're playing against a Dolphin team that isn't going to give up anyway, so you just keep going to the drawing board, and hopefully things shake out for you in the second half.
Who gets your game ball for today's performance?
Man, I got to give it to Micah Hyde after the play he made at the end of the game.
Well, let's throw it to Shaun Mcdermott, who's on the podium with his thoughts after today's win.
Okay, I'll go ahead and open it up. Good win. Anytime you can win in this league, hard to do. It's a good thing, and that our guys showed their resiliency in the second half, came out and played better football than we did in the first half. Obviously, the first half wasn't up to our standard. So we got a lot to learn from the tape, and we'll do that starting tomorrow. And with that, I'll open up to your questions.
Would you say it's safe to say Tre'Davious White was the spark your team needed today?
Yeah, he played a heck of a game. Absolute heck of a game. Looked like he covered well for the most part. Took the ball away in the red zone down there, and then he got the takeaway, the punch out as well. So big time energy boost to us, and played at a high level.
His defense looked like they were rotating corners through some kind of rotation they were doing. I mean, aside from that, it looked like John Brown was winning consistently when he was matched up against a couple of those younger players. Did you guys see that at halftime, and was that part of exploiting maybe defensively, because that touchdown was gigantic and It looked like you got a matchup that you wanted there?
Yeah, it was a good ball by Josh, good protection, and John had been winning, to your point. And John works at it during the week and prepares himself, and so it's good to see us get him the ball in that situation.
How important was that 98-drive touchdown by the offense, both offense for confidence and to give the defense a rest?
You say how big was it?
Yeah.
No, it was big. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, complimentary football that we talk about, of that type of drive, that's not an easy drive to play, to do, and continue to play clean football all the way down. And then, the defense gets a chance to get a rest as well. And look, a lot to learn from this game, I thought, on both sides and really all three phases. So, but good to get a win, good to get a win at home in front of our fans, and appreciate them hanging with us like they did. And it's a tough group right there, and our guys stayed tough throughout the game.
When you say the first half wasn't up to your standards, specifically, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I'll look at the film to go in more detail for you tomorrow, but just overall discipline, overall execution, overall fundamentals. We can just start there on the surface right now.
What is it that there's something about Josh where there's an opportunity that comes up, whether it's off a turnover like Trey or something, like clicks in, and then he's on a streak, and he's 6 for 6 for 73 yards on the touchdown drive that goes 98 yards, and then the next one after that he's 4 or 5. What is it about his rhythm that all of a sudden it kicks into gear and then he's rolling?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a better question for Josh, but to your point, he's done well in those situations, and look, he's a young guy, right? So he'll learn from this tape, and you always want to build on the positives and celebrate those, and make sure we're learning from the things that weren't up to par. And but yeah, to your point, I thought the biggest thing was we got the takeaway, but what do you do with it? What do you do with the short field? And we capitalized on it.
Coach, sorry you asked this already. It came in late. How exciting is it to see Ed Oliver get his first career NFL sack? I know he was dying to get that.
Yeah, that's great. I'm even more excited we won the game, first and foremost. But for Ed to contribute in that way, he's worked hard, and we're going to continue to encourage him to continue to work at it, and because good things come to those who work hard, and everything in this league is earned.
And how about all the roughing the passer calls you guys had today? Is that something that you can look at and correct?
Well, we're gonna try as hard as we can to get those corrected. I mean, any penalty, one penalty is too many penalties. So we've got to take a hard look at that film and learn from it, like I said, and that's one of the areas we'll look at.
Shaun, can you elaborate maybe on maybe the opportunistic nature of your team, really on both sides of the ball, where that critical sequence, obviously, after the fake field goal, You're able to kick it in on both sides. It's like a characteristic of this team. You could point to that in a lot of games with different examples.
Yeah, I thought Jordan Phillips made a heck of a play to change it down there, change momentum a little bit, and we had a chance to get the fumble then on that play, and we missed it. And then to come back, and I think a couple plays later, Tre'Davious had the interception, and then we drive the length of the field, and so if you use the word opportunistic, that's fine. I think just to me the DNA of our guys, the resiliency, the toughness, the mental toughness of our players. Never want to be down in a game, and so you could see the look in their eye at halftime that they were disappointed with themselves and what had unfolded during the first half, and they were convinced that they had to do something about it, and so that was good to see them rally together. It wasn't anything I did; it was everything they did.
The boos that they heard going off the field at halftime, I think that resonated in the locker room.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Coach McDermott saying you have to build off of those positives. There were plenty of positives in the second half from this game. I mean, you score 15 points off 2 takeaways. You have a special teams touchdown. You have a guy like Ed Oliver getting his first career sack. Trey White had a great day. So what are some of those positives that stick out to you that you think this team can take into next week against the Eagles?
I think the number one thing, you hit on all 3 phases. It's going to take all 3 phases to continue to win football games, and that's exactly what it took today. And, they got off to the sloppy start, but that didn't deter those guys. They continued to work at it. They made plays on defense. They made plays on special teams, and they made plays on offense, like when you put together a 98-yard drive. You continue to keep doing things like that and continue to build on those things, and that's what's going to make you a better team.
Yeah, showing that you can completely flip that script coming out of the locker room at halftime and put up points on the board to win this game has got to be huge for this team. Let's send it over to Josh Allen, who's on the podium with his thoughts after the game in his Sabres jersey.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you. Appreciate it. Go Sabres.
About how things just seem to click into a rhythm for you, and I'm talking about the 2 drives after the 2 takeaways. I mean, you're like 10 for 11 for, I don't know, like the first half, your guys' rhythm was a little compromised, and then all of a sudden it just clicks into gear. What is it about those situations that kind of bring out the best in you?
Yeah, I mean, we knew at halftime we were hurting ourselves early in the first. Getting 3 field goals isn't what we wanted to do down there. We wanted to finish with touchdowns. So, our O-line stepped up. We challenged them, and they answered the bell. So, I appreciate what they did for us today. Frank and Motor, they carried the rock well. We made some plays outside, too, and, obviously overthrown Andre there in the second half. And that's one I wish I had back. But, we made enough plays to win. It was a good team that we played today. They did a really good job, containing what we had on offense. They did a good job moving the ball on offense and keeping the ball on their side. So there's a lot of things to learn from this game, but overall at the end of the day, we got the job done, and now we're on to next week.
They were rotating their corners defensively, just bringing guys in, cycling them through, and John was winning a lot, especially against one of your former teammates at the end of the first half. Did you guys talk about that at halftime? And then it looked like that matchup showed itself on the touchdown pass to him, and chance to exploit that.
Yeah, I got a lot of trust in John and what he does. Just because of how hard he works, the results that he has in the game. He's a guy that's going to go work and get open for you. So, I'm proud of the way he played today, and that he had trust in me for just continuing to run his routes, and I was going to find him. And like I said, it wouldn't have happened without our front 5, though. They played a heck of a game.
Do you find yourself feeling any sense of frustration, either within the first half or come halftime? Crowds booing the team and so forth. Not necessarily anything all you or whatever, but collectively, how did you personally, though, feel about your first half?
Yeah, listen, we knew we weren't playing up to our standard. Coach preaches the type of standard that we play to, and we knew in that first half that wasn't it. That wasn't us. So, our fans, they deserve better. They deserve us to come out and play how we're supposed to play. And, I can't credit, Miami's defense enough and their team for what they did today. But, when we play to our standard, we trust each other, we play complementary football. That's usually going to produce good results, and that's what we weren't doing that in the first half.
Josh, to that end, maybe take us through that sequence where after Trey comes up with the interception, you guys put together a 98-yard drive. What kicked in there and enabled you to drive the length?
Well, I mean, just for Trey to make that play, we needed that play, and it was a big play for us. Obviously, you saw it, and to be able to convert that in 98 yards, that was a big boost for us, mentally and emotionally. And we knew that once we got that ball in the end zone, that we started playing how we're supposed to play. Complementary football. Our defense was taking care of business. Offense, we were taking care of the football. Making sure that we were having good field position in the second half. And like I said, when you usually play how you're supposed to play, good things happen.
Talk about the emotion after your 2-point play of whipping the ball up into the
yeah. It was just one of those moments where I got up and a lot of stuff going through me, and those fans in the top row, they were yelling pretty loud, so I just wanted to throw them a souvenir.
When you look at your game through, I guess this would have been start 17, if I'm not mistaken, career-wise, and point totals, it would seem like at some point you're going to need games. Today was one where you got into you got beyond the 20s, but high 20s, 30s are going to be necessary. Do you have enough confidence that you and this offense can get to those places when you have to? Even, I know the complementary football thing, but there are going to be those games too where more is needed.
Yeah, the whole goal of what we try to do is score more than them. When a game dictates that we got to score a lot, that's when we're going to try to put the ball in the end zone more, maybe take some more risks. But with how well our defense is playing, how well we're coached, just honestly taking care of the football is the main priority for us on offense. Making sure that we have good field position, and then when our opportunity arises, if we get a turnover, if we're moving the ball, that we got to convert in the red zone. So we understand that. We're trying to play to our strengths. We're being very well coached by the staff that we have here, and I appreciate every single one of them, what they do, and we're just going to continue to try to get better for next week.
Josh, Coach, when he came in here, talked about the first half not being to the team standard. You referenced it earlier in your comments. Specifically, maybe from an offensive standpoint in your game in particular, what didn't measure up in the first half?
Just not converting, not getting the ball where it needed to be. Obviously, 3 field goals, it's good that we're getting points, but we want to turn those into touchdowns, no matter how we do it. So we just got to go out there, we got to execute better, convert on third down, move the ball. Like I said, our defense came out in the second half and played lights out, and we found a rhythm on offense, and that's all that mattered.
Could you allow yourself, while you're worried about so many other things on your own end, to appreciate what a 36-year-old, 15-year veteran quarterback might have played his last game, at least in this stadium, was doing on the other side?
Yeah, I've gotten to know Fitz over the last couple of years and got to hang around, spend some time with him, and he's just a hats-off guy. Off the field, he's fantastic, easy to talk to. He knows a lot about football, and going back to 2 years ago, I actually got the chance to meet him at the Masters before I got drafted, and he called it. He said, "You're going to Buffalo." And obviously he had been there before, and he's like, "If you need any suggestions or advice or anything, please let me know." And that's just the type of guy he is. So for him to come out and play the way he did today, moving the ball, making some loose plays and just slinging the rock, it was cool to see, especially with the type of relationship that we have.
What was anything stick with you from an advice standpoint?
I'll keep some of the stuff to myself, but I really appreciate what he's done for me. Obviously, we haven't spent a whole bunch of time together, but he's one of the good ones.
In your second year, you remember how it was as a rookie doing stuff for the first time, your first touchdown, your first completion. How exciting do you think it is for Ed Oliver to kind of get that weight off his shoulders and get his first career sack in this game today?
I know he's not the type of guy that cares about the stats, and he wants to do his job, but whenever, D tackles aren't usually the ones getting the sacks. It's usually the guys that are rushing on the end. So, he's a young guy that's still learning. He's got a lot of juice to him, a lot of energy. He's going to be really good in this league for a long time, and I appreciate, how hard he works, and I know everybody on the team loves having him here. He's going to be a good one for a long time, and we're just lucky to have him.
Circling back to the long drive, how much was it a confidence booster for the offense, and also to give the defense a rest because they just came off of, defending a 10-minute drive?
Yeah. Obviously, it was really big for us, and got to score there and kind of change the scoreboard. There was a pretty big swing there from almost giving up a touchdown to going the other way and scoring a touchdown on our end. So to understand that type of situation, how the flow of the game was going, it's exactly what we needed, and Trey made a play.
Josh, you kind of alluded to this a bit ago, but do you feel more comfortable playing maybe from behind, just knowing you have to make a play and you guys need to get points on the board?
I just love the game of football. I feel comfortable. I try to feel comfortable at all times. Obviously, there's certain situations, nerves in the first, and just trying to get through all that. And I just try to stay as calm as possible. Once I settle in and trust the guys around me, good things tend to happen.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys.
Josh Allen was 16 of 26 for 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, a passer rating of 111.4. No turnovers for him today. It's frustrating that they couldn't string some of those early drives together for touchdowns, but what do you make of his performance today?
Well, you see the things that he's doing. He's trying to get rid of the ball when he can. He's not trying to force the ball, and as long as he continues to do that, and like he said, trust the guys around him and get the ball in their hands and let them make plays. As long as he's doing that, they're going to have an opportunity to win football games.
Was there anybody that stood out on offense for you today from a run game or passing game standpoint?
Well, I think Mr. Brown stood out. They were saying it all, asking all the right questions. He was winning all day today, and when they got the ball to him, he tended to make plays for him.
83 yards for John Brown. Let's go ahead and look at those highlights from today's game. Bills back after the bye week hosting Miami. Bills lead 6-0 after 1, but on the first play of the second quarter, Balish plows in from 3 yards out to give the Dolphins a 7-6 lead after another Hauschka field goal gives the Bills the lead. Fitz hits Devontae Parker for the 12-yard touchdown. Dolphins up 14-9 at half. The Dolphins keep the ball for 10 minutes to start the second half, but Trey White is there to pick it off and keep Miami off the board. The Bills drive 98 yards for the go-ahead score. Josh Allen to John Brown for the 20-yard touchdown and a 17-14 fourth quarter lead after a Jerry Hughes fumble recovery. Allen finds Cole Beasley for the 3-yard touchdown. The Bills tack on the lead more after a late Ryan Fitzpatrick touchdown. Miami goes on for the onside kick, but Micah Hyde recovers and takes it into the end zone to score. Buffalo wins this one 31-21. You look at the stats, Allen 16 of 26, 61.5% of his passes completed, 2 touchdowns, 111.4 rating. Frank Gore 11 carries, 55 yards. John Brown 5 receptions, 83 yards. Lorenzo Alexander led with 10 tackles on the day. Let's hear what Coach McDermott had to say in the locker room after the win.
Hey, man, anytime you win, it's a good thing, right? Anytime you win, it's a good thing, man. Do not lose that in this win right here, okay? Learn from it. That second half, a lot of character in this room right here. A lot of character and leadership in this room. First half, not up to our standard, right? We got to look hard at that first half, small focus on it, and learn from it, and continue to move forward.
That first half definitely not up to the Bills' standards from what we've seen so far in this season, which is a very talented defense and an offense that is continuously growing game to game. So what can you attribute that first half to?
Well, I think you got to realize it's the National Football League, and barring that Miami is 0-5 when they come in, there's still guys that are going to compete, and I think you got to tip your hat to them. They're trying to make plays to win the football game. They're doing fake punts or fake field goals. So they're coming out and they're competing and trying to win. And I think you got to, Josh mentioned it, you got to give those guys credit as well. But at the end of the day, you think you're the better team. You got to make more plays when you have the opportunity and not settle for field goals. First of all, as an offensive unit, that's something that I know they're going to look at, and grade themselves harshly on. When you have the opportunity to get touchdowns, that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, you tip your hat and you say, those guys did a great job in the first half. We didn't. We got to step up.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's somebody you are familiar with. He played for the Bills. He's played in Buffalo, against Buffalo several times. So you knew that he was going to put his best on the field today in Buffalo.
I had a long conversation with Fitz all week. I was messing with him, sending him text messages back and forth, and I knew he was going to come out, prepared to play, because that's just the type of guy he is. He loved playing here in Buffalo, and we, of course, we got nostalgic talking about all the things, but you knew he was going to come out and put up a great game. And, the rest of the team just kind of followed that, and they were able to, throw some haymakers at Buffalo early, and, the Bills survived it and were able to come out and get the win.
Well, Micah Hyde had a great day recovering that onside kick for a touchdown. It looked like he got 10 feet up in the air. Well, let's hear what he had to say after the win.
Check the stats, though. I scored touchdowns, man. But no, it was one of those plays. It's good to score. It went down into the game.
I was going to say, it looked like you were not quite sure what to do.
I literally caught the ball, and I'm just like, yo, there's nobody here and the touchdown, the end zone was just like, oh, and I'm like, I just went.
It's hard to tell anybody to go down in that situation, right?
I know, but I have to, though.
Were you thinking at all about it for a second?
I literally, as I'm running, you can watch the film, I kind of peeked to the sideline and was just like, oh, man, I don't know what's score. But it's kind of, this is a crazy league. I gotta go down. They, even though there's how much time was left? 40 seconds or a minute?
A minute and a half or so.
Whatever it was, I've seen crazier things in this league. For them to come down, score on another onside kick, get it, one play, field goal, somehow tie it up. So, good play, but I gotta go down.
Mike, you've been telling us all week that it doesn't matter, 0-5, whatever record, you have to respect everybody. Was it today kind of a reminder to everybody out there that that's the case?
Everybody in this locker room understands that.
Yep.
Every single game that Miami has played, it's been, other than the first game, it's been close at halftime. We're getting booed running at halftime. We understand we're not playing well, but this is the NFL, man. Like you got to compete each and every week. It doesn't matter what the record is. Those guys are trying to get their first win. We're trying to get our fifth win, and from there, it's going to be a close game. Divisional game. They know us. We know them. It's kind of one of those things that you gotta go out there, and we understood it was gonna be a 60-minute game, and it was.
How big was the Jordan Phillips play in terms of just the momentum?
Huge
How bad
play.
you need it?
Huge play. I mean, they got down there. He made an amazing play. Almost got he did get the football. Almost got on the football. And then from there, Tre'Davious came up with a huge pick. Tre'Davious today, lights out. That boy was something else today. He sparked that turnover. Came back the next time, punched the ball out. That's just the stuff he's able to do for this football team. And, Jordan Phillips has been making a lot of plays for us lately also. These guys is just that's how our defense is, man. If it's not one guy, it's another. It took a while into the second half for us to make some plays, but fortunate enough we did, and I'll take an ugly win over an ugly loss.
The kickoff, was it your baseball background, like charging a grounder there, play that aggressive?
No, watching film, we understand they do the high bounce to the left. I'm the left catcher. I have faith in my guys up front that they're going to block. I've been in some games, some big games where the onside kick didn't go our way. So I kind of have in my head, just go up and get it. If I get hit, come down with the football. I can go in the training room after the game.
Is there? I was going to say, is there any pool based on who gets in the end zone first?
No,
on the defense. You guys don't have nothing like that.
No, none of that. It was a big play, but at the same time, I've seen crazy things in this league. I could get down.
When you got the ball, did you see all that space in front of you?
Exactly what happened. I saw so much space. I went up, caught it, kind of spun, landed on my feet, which I thought I was going to get hit, and took a couple steps, and yeah, man, it was.
What was the difference in the second half? They were running the ball pretty effectively in the first half. You guys started to shut that down.
Well, I mean, I think they had some big runs in the second half too. I just think they got down a little bit towards the end, so they had to start throwing it. Like I said, that's a tough football team. Their record doesn't indicate how good they are. You got to give them credit. You got to give Fitzpatrick credit. He was slinging it today.
Yep.
There was a few drives. They probably had 4 or 5 long drives on us. We just couldn't stop them. You got to give them credit. They were running downhill, blocking well, and all credit goes out to them.
Thanks, Mike.
Micah Hyde, we agree with you. We would rather have an ugly win over an ugly loss any day. The Bills have 2 more home games in a row here at New Era Field. So what can the Bills build on coming into next Sunday?
I mean, I think you see how resilient you have to be in this league. And I think that week in and week out, you are going to take the punch from whatever team it is you're facing. And you continue to work and continue to put those drives together to try and win games. Lean on your defense to make turnovers and lean on your special teams to make plays as well. As long as you do that, I think you'll be okay.
Bills put 31 points on the scoreboard. That's great. We haven't seen them break that 30-point mark. You look at Josh Allen, no turnovers, scoring points off takeaways. These are all baby steps in the right direction, regardless of how many points the Dolphins put up or how many yards they put up. So it's a good thing.
It is. You keep doing the things you did today. And whatever, 0-5, whatever, Dolphins are still going to come play. And you look at the things you can get better at, and that's what you focus on.
For more highlights, more post-game sound, more analysis, make sure you head to MSG at 11:30 tonight. For Fred Jackson, I'm Maddy Glab. We'll see you next week.